Hello everyone. It's Tuesday the 21st September. The temperature is 29 degrees and the time is 12:56 p.m. We're just off Shenton Way, which is the road we'll be taking today, towards Marina Bay. But I wanted to go to this little temple just past. Hello. Is it okay to take a picture? Oh, thank you so much. I'm just, it's very pretty here.
Usually the Malay mosque is over there.
Yeah.
I always say they take this one come in here, but here blocked already.
Yes, I already went there and I thought.
Inside. No
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good day. So, like you just heard, I went to look at this temple because it's open. There's also a mosque behind there. Like you were saying, people basically come through to try to go to the mosque. And what we'll do today is walk around Shenton Way to see the city views. But I wanted to have a look at that little place because it's a really beautiful little temple. And the rest of this area is under construction. There's a lot of construction work around here. This is sort of one of the main streets that goes through. In the city area, it's being called the Wall Street of Singapore, although I think, to be fair, it's a little bit off the main districts. And we'll see a lot of tall buildings, skyscrapers today. A lot of the buildings that would have been relocated along this street when it was sort of developed into that kind of financial and city center area. You know what, I'm not going to go through Keppel Road all the way there. We'll get a view of the mosque as we go along Shenton Way. So we're now starting just off Keppel Road. On the other side, you'll see some of the big machinery that has to do with moving all of those different containers in the ports. So we are just off of that area where it turns kind of industrial and you have container ships. But already at the beginning here where we have quite a bit of construction going on. Definitely in the sort of city area, financial area, walking into the downtown core the further we go. So there's that little temple that we just saw. try to get a view of the mosque from behind here. Right now we have a city view ahead. So you can see hopefully the mosque behind there would have been behind all of that construction. But we will keep going. There's the Oasia Hotel. You take those roads, you end up in Tanjung Pakar. And this is the Shenton Way bus terminal. So you have a huge number of buses going through this area. The name of Shenton Way comes from the governor of Singapore at the time of also the Japanese occupation. It was going to be Raffles Way, I think, but they honored the decision of Sir Shenton to stay and named it after him. There's a cool little bike shed. Not so little actually. This is Prince Edward Road. You can see the Monetary Authority of Singapore there. I'll show you a look back as I've crossed. And as the buses come by as well. So this is MAS over here. And then you have the AXA Tower right here as well. We'll probably get a better look once we're further along and look back. So this walk will be going sort of towards the center of city, Biggin Hall. The Raffles Square area, Raffles Place area, the center. And we'll end up at Marina Bay at the end of the walk. And we are going into a construction area where there is a way through, but there will be some noise. Apologies for that. Slow road over there with more construction. The last time I walked through here it was evening. I was trying to get a video as well. It was the first time I was out with the DJI Pocket too. But I ended up just learning so much about the camera during that walk that it wasn't really worth posting. But when it's dark, you really don't also get the idea of all of these buildings around, how tall they are. So I think Shenton Way was built in 1951. And it must have been developing a lot since then. And just look at those buildings right there and all of this area. And all the construction going on even now. Kind of get an idea that it keeps developing. It's supposed to be one of the sort of addresses that office buildings and businesses like to have. It has that sound of being in the city center. And of course a lot of these buildings are office buildings, so quite a few people going for lunch. When I was coming here, there's that look back I promised of the AXA building and the MAS. It's so nice to be in the shadow. It's a warm day. It rained earlier, but it didn't really cool the weather much. When I was walking by here in the evening, these little trees by the side here had tons of some kind of birds that were making a huge noise. So basically it was a deafening noise almost. I might just put that at the end of this video. It's just a couple of really small trees as well. The noise was really quite something. That's McCallum Street. Starting to see a bit more people around here. Shenton Food Hall looks quite busy. And it smells really good as well. Everyone wants to stay in the shadows. Covered from, can't blame them. It's a warm day. Seems like a lot of lunch venues have opened up. noticed around the area where I live, many lunch, well, food stores that were mostly serving lunch, and also chain restaurants that were mostly for office workers' lunch had to close down or have left. And sort of sadly in these sort of last phases of the restrictions as well, I guess there comes a point when they're not sure how to make it, and it just goes on. I hope some of those businesses will be able to bounce back at some point, maybe find a new location, especially the small stores. Chain restaurants normally are okay, don't have to worry so much about them. So we're at Lau Pa Sat Food Center. I'll look back as well. So there's Shenton Way. Another construction going on. I think this will be tower, like on the other side as well. And I noticed when I was on the bus and I went by here earlier that lunch is becoming busy again in the food center, which is a nice thing to see. For those food stores and restaurants as well. This has always been a kind of iconic place, and of course has that national heritage importance as well. So nice to see that busier again. And of course this is also the point where Shenton Way turns into Raffles Quay. So that is a very long light cycle. I'm not actually going anywhere. So good to see that some of the businesses are recovering, even if the case numbers are not low at the moment. Let's see if we can steal a quick look inside. It's not a very good view, and I think it was actually busier when I was here earlier around noon. Here's Cross Street. Which will take us towards Chinatown and through the financial business district. So that delivery guy was in the area, I guess. The next lights will turn right and head towards Marina Bay on Marina Boulevard. We're not too far from the water side, and if we kept going we'd just end up at the Fullerton. Well, that's an interesting choice. Yeah, we just end up at the Fullerton Hotel and eventually at Esplanade, but we'll take Marina Boulevard and have a look at the water side over there. There's one Raffles place, one of the tallest buildings around here, and of course Raffles Place MRT also at the back there, and then this interesting art in the middle of the intersection. So I do press on the button and hope the light to change eventually. Here's a look at some of the skyscrapers and tall buildings in the city centre and around Raffles Square. That's Marina Boulevard. I quite aggressively wanted to make sure I'd actually press the button, which I had. Never hurts to check, I guess. So we're just below the sail on the other side of Marina View Link. And you should be starting to see the views of Marina Bay Sands on Marina Bay. There's a customs house and a Shenton Way hotel at the back. And of course Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which you cannot escape around this area. I'll keep walking to the shops and keep to a little bit of the shadows on this side, the shade. It's a nice view. So this area is so much busier in the evenings when it gets a bit cooler. You have so many joggers and cyclists and walkers around. There's always some people exercising, there's someone squatting. But for them, it is really warm out here today. It's the view of Marina Bay. We'll get a better view once we actually reach the other side. But here there's always that temptation to show some of that. I know the horizon has been escaping and going a bit high on this walk from time to time. It's a little bit trickier to adjust on the pocket camera. But hopefully I managed to keep an eye on it. There's the Apple store, the ball-shaped building, and then the Art and Science Museum. You can see the floating platform with the seats as well. There's a helicopter flying. I don't know, is it visible? Very difficult to say. If not, then you'll just have to take my word for it. And maybe the sound. And straight ahead is the Red Dot Design Museum. On the other side, people are on their breaks, I guess, from these office buildings. There's a marked difference around these areas during the day and in the evening, because the offices still very much have formal wear. So maybe not jackets, but people have white shirts and a suit on, which is very warm in this climate. But you see a lot of people just sort of in that kind of work attire. And then in the evenings it tends to be joggers and cyclists. And a lot more casual. The deck here is also not busy at all. There's one group taking photos, but other than that, it's just a few people. I probably used for this walk a thumbnail from the evening walk actually, so you might notice that difference. And back there you can probably see a little bit of the gardens by the base, flower dome and the super trees. There's a big bench you could sit on over here, take photos. I actually went to the Apple store over there to get this DJI Pocket camera. Sorry, DJI Pocket 2. Especially to film in the dark. And it's a tiny camera. It's sort of like having an iPhone, except it has the gimbal stabilization built into the camera. It has a very small screen. It's very convenient. But I was kind of bummed that I didn't get to go inside that structure. They actually instructed me not to go through the door over there, but to go to the basement at the shops at Marina Bay, where they have more like a usual Apple store kind of thing, and then you can take escalators up, which I didn't do, so I missed out on that experience. Another thing was that when I was here, I was on my motorbike parked just at the back there, and the sunset was just really striking, red and beautiful. I haven't yet been able to catch any of those for these videos. Eventually we will, don't worry. It's a very common thing, but one of the things about recording these videos is that you see something like that, and you wonder why it has to be the evening when you go buy a new camera. I'll walk over to the Apple store and we'll end the video there. I think that seems like a good spot. This is the entrance to the shops at Marina Bay Sands. We can find a lot of sort of luxury brands. There's also a little river inside, a kind of Las Vegas type of thing where you can go and have a ride on a little, I think, gondola boat like the ones you have in Venice. It's very strange, but who am I to judge? Could be really fun as well. And the entry is now limited only to a few spots. This being one of them. There's the Apple store. Art Science Museum at the back. And And here is Marina Bay. So thank you for joining me for this walk from Keppel Road, that little temple, along Shenton Way all the way here to Marina Bay. I hope you enjoyed the walk, and if you'd like to see more of them, then you probably know what to do. You can subscribe to this channel and be notified when there are new videos posted. So thanks for joining, and I hope I'll see you again soon.